For an ID, I'm going to give my conference an ID of 1111. I could use almost anything as long as it didn't match a meeting room that pre-existed on the bridge, and then I'm okay. So I'm going to use 1111, and I'm going to say okay. And by golly, looky here, I've got a conference. Now, he is giving me a little bit of a warning that I have a conference out there and nobody's in it. That's one of those kind of warning messages that you get, okay, just to let you know that you got something cooking, but nobody's in there in the room. So I'm going to start out, and I'm going to pull one of these HDXs in. I'm going to pull 108 in there. I'm going to select it and drag it in. And you're going to see it's going to show one participant. It's going to show connecting, and he's in the middle of the IVR messaging. And then after a few seconds, you'll see connected, and hopefully it'll clean up. And there it is, all cleaned up. Now, cool. This system is connected, but we really can't see what's going on, can we? So I'm actually going to use my M100, and I'm going to connect to that same bridge, but I'm going to dial into the bridge from the outside. Okay, and so you're going to see here in a minute.
Welcome to Unified Conferencing.
I'm going to turn that audio way down. Okay, so there's his far end. Now, notice this page that came up. This is the gathering. Notice it told us how long the call is going to be for. It also told us what participants are currently connected, and it moves into the conference. That happens to be the conference room that I connected to. Okay, that's pretty cool. And I'm going to move that video off so I can do a couple more things. I'll bring it back here in a minute. I'm going to bring one of these E164 connections in, and they're going to dial in, connect, and it's going to show connected. Okay, going through the IVR stage again, as they all do, and then it's connect. Now I'm going to bring my video back in so you can see it. There are those two sites. Okay, very easy to do. And what I'm next going to do is I'm going to highlight these last two sites. I'm going to highlight them together, and I'm going to drag them both in. Now I'm going to real quick, I'm going to bring my video back in so you can watch what happens. And you're going to actually see them both join the conference, and it will automatically relay out the screen. So there we are, connected with 4 sites, plus myself, into a bridge call. It was that easy to build that bridge call. Now some of the things we can do, and I'm going to try to slide this over here a little bit. Actually, I'm going to slide it to the other side. I can double click on my conference. Okay, that's going to bring up the all the profile information or conference information for that call. Slide it up a little bit. Now, about the only thing we're likely to want to change in there is possibly the video layout. So I'm going to bring up the video layout screen. I'm going to slide him over. He's going to be halfway hanging off the edge, but that's okay. Notice we're set in auto layout right now. If I bring the video back up so you can see it, you can see he's in the auto layout. Now I'm going to take it out of auto layout, and I'm going to set it up in a large one on top, as you can see. And I'm going to, and I have to get over here, and you have to hit apply. And so it's changed the layout to look like this. So I'm going to go back in and bring up my video so you can see it, and you can see it's changed the layout. Because of the way the recording tool I'm using here, something called Camtasia, works, I can't put both screens up at exactly the same time. But you can see the results very nicely back and forth. Okay, so here's the way I can move things around if I need to. Notice I don't need to do much else in the conference, so I'm going to close it. Now, once it's closed out and I have my conference, you see the little red button there that says Start Recording? I can actually set it up so I just click on this, and you'll see he's connecting to the recorder. So it is actually now ready to start recording. Now if I go back and look at my video, the big question people have, well, Is the video recorder showing on any of the squares? Obviously not. But I do get this message, and it's an option, where I can turn that recorder off if I want, or turn that icon off, so people don't see the record red button. Now, you need to check for legal ramifications. Statewide, typically that's a state law as to what has to be said, what has to be shown. Got the audio turned down so we didn't hear the announcement, as to whether or not that has to actually appear in the meeting. It may be required by law, so you need to check with your local laws. To stop recording, all I have to do is hit the stop recording, and we would actually get a message normally that the recording is stopped. And here in a few seconds you're going to actually see this recording link, this recording connection, disappear. There it goes. If I go back and look at my video again, you notice the red record button is gone. So we've done a conference. We've actually changed the layout on the conference. We've actually dialed into it from the outside, and we've called out to several sites. I can certainly do mute, I can send content, I can go full screen, I can do camera control. These are all controls that are available here on the M100, and similarly on the CMA desktop if I had chosen to use CMA desktop. So anyway, I hope that gives you a real quick idea of how to do a video call and what it looks like, and some of the things that can be done in a call. Now certainly I can go in here and hang up any person in this call I want. I can right click, delete the participant, and at that point that participant will leave the conference. Notice it did leave a blue screen from where they were. Why did it leave a blue screen? Because we're not set in auto. If it were set in auto, it would have relayed out the screen. In fact, let's go back into auto and let's see what it would have laid that screen out to look like. So I'm back into auto mode, okay, and I'm going to click auto and apply. I'm going to close that out, and what it has chosen to put it back in, as you can see, is a three-way layout with that one extra screen not being shown. Okay, now if I delete one more user out of the call, let's see, or disconnect one more person, so I'm going to disconnect one more. Notice that it quickly changed it to just a two-way layout. I've connected back into the call, those two sites I disconnected, and now I'm going to dial myself, my M100, back into the conference so you can see what happens. Notice that I will again get the connection, the RMX connection here saying that I've connected, and it's going to take me straight into my meeting room. Now notice that I see the sites that are in for a few seconds and the names of the sites, and here in about another 2 or 3 seconds you're going to see it relay out the screen in its normal form. So you can see that it's using that gathering screen only for a few seconds in this situation. So you can see that it's actually working. Now, to terminate the conference, we could either wait for the hour-long conference, or we could go actually right back here to the conference itself, right-click on it, delete the conference, and at that point, you're going to see a confirmation, are you sure? And my call right here, you'll see, will drop out as it did. Farsight has disconnected the conference, call is cleared, and you notice there's no active conference. And down here on the bottom, you'll see that all the resources we had been using have returned to the bridge and made available for other users. Anyway, so that's how to do a quick call. Pretty easy to set up, pretty easy to get people in and out of that conference. I hope this has been a help and a good basis to learn from and to see how easy the Polycom RMX really is to set up and use. If you have other questions, please feel free to take a look at the Polycom website. There are a number of Q&A areas, knowledge bases that are out there that can answer. There is the Polycom community that's online called community.polycom.com. There are a lot of people who have registered there, some of which are Polycom salespeople and support engineers. And if you ask a question out there, they're pretty good about answering questions there if you don't want to go through the normal 800 Polycom question line. So I hope all that helps, and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Gary Miyakawa. We're here today to talk a little bit about the DMA 7000 product line from Polycom. Let's look at some of its primary functions. It's a conference manager. It's out there trying to distribute voice and video calls over multiple media servers. Now, what's a media server? Media server is, by Polycom's definition, a multi-point control unit. The current product line includes the RMX series of products, the RMX 1500, 2000, and 4000. Now, we also do support some of the Codian bridges too, and they can be jointly supported underneath a DMA. Now, what's DMA out there trying to do? It's trying to simplify the resource management for the bridges. One of the problems we've seen is that we can easily run out of resources. So what DMA does is spread the call across bridges that have available resources so that the calls go through first time and with the best possible quality. We also improve the efficiency of those bridges because we do a load balancing of those bridges that are under the management of DMA. That helps out to allow us to spread the calls out over a wider area, possibly geographically dispersed into pools in Europe and the Americas and maybe in the Far East. We'll talk about that in a few minutes in some other slides. Recent updates to DMA has also brought it the capability to be a call server. Provides complete endpoint registration and call routing for both SIP and 323 calls. Also has the ability to do a gateway call between SIP and 323. So that allows a SIP endpoint to call into a 323 endpoint and vice versa. Makes it very handy when we're trying to unify multiple UC environments where we may have different call plans and we're trying to get everything into a single dial plan. We can help out there, hopefully with the DMA. One of the things that we found over time is that the RMX, even as large as the RMX 4000 is sometimes not big enough. So what we've done is allowed DMA to sit over those bridges and to hand out those resources as required. And should some of the resources not be available because of a bridge being down or a maintenance issue on a bridge, then that bridge would automatically be excluded from providing resources. So today, our current limitations are 64 bridges, wow, that's a lot, and 5,000 active participants. That's a lot of people. Now, an active participant is anyone who's registered to take a call. That could be a desktop solution, it could be an iPad or an Android mobile solution, it could be a Tamberg, could be life-size. Anyone who's registered in will take a license in that situation. Now, what we're doing is virtualizing the resources, trying to make them virtually available anytime, somewhere out there in the cloud, and make it easy. Now, the cloud may be owned by the client in this situation. Okay? We have had a couple companies come to us asking for something even bigger. And so what we've done, the center point, that virtualized resource, what we call a super node, because it has two nodes, two servers, and so they have a redundancy between them. And what we've done is taken that a step further and added clustering. We've added super clustering capability. What this allows us to do is to take 5 nodes or super nodes and bring them together and allowing them to register everybody together. As you can see now, my maximum registration is about 75,000 endpoints. with a limitation of 25,000 active calls at any one time. One of the nice things about the supercluster is that it can be geographically dispersed or distributed around the world, as I mentioned.